In the women's competition, there was one woman who became the star of the game. But it wasn't Eleanor Holmes who watched from the stands. It was 17-year-old Ria Mastenbroek of Holland. She was phenomenal, winning the 100-meter freestyle, the 400-meter freestyle, anchoring the 4x100-meter winning relay team, and then, of all things, coming in second to her countrywoman, Dina Sint of Holland, in the 100-meter backstroke. 3 gold medals for Ria Mastenbroek and 1 silver.
I did not expect to be able to win against all these famous swimmers. I am so happy.
But in women's diving, it was another story. In the springboard, Marjorie Gestrigg, who will be 14 years old in a little over 3 months, won the springboard over her teammates, Catherine Rawls and Dorothy Poynton-Hill.
I'm awfully happy I won this championship, and I owe all my things that I've won to my coach, Fred Cady.
Well, that's her coach with her there. Then in the platform competition, Dorothy Poynton-Hill repeated her 1932 victory, her 2nd gold medal in succession.
I'm so happy to have won the championship for the 2nd time in the world. And boy, oh boy, what a thrill. And will I be glad to get back to America.
Well, that's it from the swimming arena. Back to you, Dan.
Okay. Now let's recap some of the big track and field stories that have taken place the last couple of days, just in case you missed them. In the men's 800 meters, John Woodruff, 21-year-old freshman from the University of Pittsburgh, turned in a spectacular victory. In the race, a little less than half over, Woodruff found himself boxed in by several other runners, so he literally slowed down to a walk. He let the runners blocking him go by, and then he moved to the outside, began passing the other runners to go into the lead. He lost the lead again to Phil Edwards of Canada, but then came roaring down the stretch to win the gold medal.
Hello, folks back there in America. This is John Woodruff speaking. I want to say a few words about my race here this afternoon. I fought hard and won it for you all. I thank you.
The 1,500 meters was another beauty. 6 of the 7 top finishers from the 1932 games in Los Angeles made it to the final, including the defending champion, Luigi Beccali of Italy, Glenn Cunningham of the United States, who finished 4th 4 years ago. But in a thrilling finish, Jack Lovelock of New Zealand came roaring down the home stretch to outkick Cunningham for the gold medal.
Well, the Flying Finns have done it again here in Berlin. As their legendary hero, Paavo Nurmi, the original Flying Finn, watched, Finnish runners continued their mastery in long-distance running. Gunnar Hockert of Finland won the 5,000 meters with his teammate Lauri Lehtonen second. And the steeplechase was won by Valmari Sahalo of Finland, who is the only runner to repeat his 1932 Los Angeles victory so far. So the Finns, once again, win the 5,000, 10,000, and the steeplechase.
Great Britain came up with 2 gold medals in track and field. Harold Whitlock won the 50-kilometer walk. And the British 4x400 men's relay team won by a few yards over the United States and Germany.
We're naturally very glad to have won the 1,600-meter relay for the first time in this wonderful Olympic Games.
Before we go, there's been a major controversy that has developed regarding the United States 400-meter relay team. Up until today, it was expected that the United States team would include Marty Glickman and Sam Stoller. Now, both men are Jewish, and both have been practicing all week, certain that they were on the team. And then suddenly, at a team meeting last night, before the qualifying round got underway, Glickman and Stoller were told that they were not running, that the team would have Jesse Owens running leadoff, Ralph Metcalf second, Foy Draper third, and Frank Wyckoff the anchor leg. And we have 3 reports on that story. First, Dean Cromwell, an assistant coach for the United States track and field team.
We have gotten reliable reports that the Germans in secret practice sessions have been showing an outstanding team. Earlier, we thought that Marty Glickman and Sam Stoller would run, but it was finally decided to ensure our greatest chance of victory, and the team, Owens, Metcalf, Draper, and Wyckoff, would give us the best opportunity.
But in the press room, the story goes further. British newspaper correspondent Derek McSpadden has been following a different version.
There have been reports circulating through Berlin all day that propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels, in a secret meeting with high United States officials, prevailed upon them to remove Glickman and Stoller from the team. The reason, quite simply, as attributed to Goebbels, was that the great victories by American Negroes, specifically Jesse Owens, were a cause of embarrassment. The fact that two runners of the Jewish faith and two Negroes would constitute the United States team in the relay would prove intolerable to the Führer.
And now let's go to one of the men it affected most. Sam Stoller, one of the Jewish runners replaced, is on the field. Sam, could you tell us what happened?
After the Olympic trials, it was announced that our relay team would consist of the runners who finished 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in the 100 meters. Since Jesse and Ralph finished 1, 2, they never expected to run the relay and never practiced the relay.
Well, Sam, when did you find out that you weren't going to run?
All week, Frank Wyckoff, Boy Draper, Marty Glickman, and I practiced our starts and pass-offs, and we worked and ran perfectly. Then, the night before the qualifying round, Marty and I found out at the team meeting we were not going to run. Jesse stood up and said, "I've won 3 gold medals. Marty and Sam deserve a chance." Coach Cromwell said something like, "We're not asking for your opinion." The other boys were upset over the situation and felt very bad for Marty and me.
Yes, I see. Sam, why do you think it happened?
It's just politics. Everyone knows the German team, and everyone knows that Marty and I probably pass and run the relay better than all 4 men selected.
Well, thank you, Sam. Oh, a potentially unsettling situation for the United States relay team. Now, one side note, if the United States wins, Frank Wyckoff, who will anchor the team, will have won his 3rd straight gold medal in the relay, adding to his 1928 and 1932 victories. Well, that's it for this afternoon. So for Barry Coleman and myself, this is Dan Ashmore saying so long.
WBN, the World Broadcasting Network, brings you Good Morning World with your hosts in New York, Brad Chase and Nancy Brown.
Well, it's the final day of the track and field competition, and there are 3 big events scheduled for today. The grueling 26-mile, 385-yard marathon and 2 relays, both the men's and the women's 400 relay. Now, the marathon will feature Juan Carlos Zabala of Argentina, who will try to repeat his 1932 victory in this most historic of all Olympic events.
Jesse Owens is winning all the headlines so far in Berlin with 3 gold medals and perhaps about to get a 4th in the relay this afternoon. But one of the little-known stories in one of the little-known sports has developed into one of the great feats of Olympic history. We're talking about Jack Beresford of Great Britain, who has just competed in his 5th Olympic Games and has won his 5th medal, his 3rd gold. Jack, it's good having you with us.
Thank you very much for asking.
Well, 5 Olympics, 16 years, 5 medals, 3 gold.
Yes, it's been a pleasant experience. I'm not so sure it's over yet. I still feel strong, very emotional. Winning another gold medal here yesterday certainly was a worthwhile experience. Some of the people we defeated yesterday were only 2 or 3 years old when I began competing in Antwerp some 16 years ago.
Well, you know, they call you the old man of the games.
Well, that's what makes life interesting. You know, some of my friends are trying to talk me into politics. Then I'll be the boy wonder. It's all quite relative, you know.
Thank you very much, Jack Beresford.
You're looking at the scene of the Berlin Olympic Stadium, and in just a few minutes, the start of the marathon run. We'll be going back to Berlin momentarily to Barry Coleman and Dan Ashmore, but first, with a commentary on recent events in Berlin, Donald Foster.
There are strange happenings taking place in Berlin. Before the games began, there were protests in the United States about sending teams to Nazi Germany, where racial and religious persecutions have taken place ever since Chancellor Adolf Hitler came to power more than 3 years ago. The fact that the Nuremberg laws of 1935 took all rights away from German Jews did not enter into the decision that finally sent a United States team to Berlin. Now, news has been received that 2 Jewish sprinters, Marty Glickman and Sam Stoller, have been removed from the 400-meter relay team. The explanations given by coaches and officials are suspect at best. The United States missed an opportunity to upset the Aryan racial theory of Joseph Goebbels for all time. Would not the perfect American team to have proved this point been the combination of two Jewish boys, Marty Glickman and Sam Stoller, and two Negroes, Ralph Metcalf and Jesse Owens? How short-sighted our leaders can be. Opportunities like this may not come this way too often again. This is Donald Foster.